It's definitely it's up to you, and we're not dictating to you how you should do it. But there's a lot of us here that are going to try to just be as free as possible. But you are literally as free as you want to be. Whereas the chairs are like more about like where you go after you're walking around and doing whatever. But you are completely free to do whatever, and we want you to use the drums around here if you so desire.
Take them back to where you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to convey the freedom that we have at the bridge, except for just doing it. So we're going to do that. To start off, we have our good friend Garrett is going to share a piece with you.
On and off ramp signs in our home city aren't just made of steel anymore, but cardboard supported by frail human souls. What will we do with these cries, with the pleas in our community? And what will you do with mine? With yours, what would you have me? Do we know what it's like to hunger? Do we know what it's like to beg for bread? Do we know how it feels to feed others? Do we know what it means to be fed? And all burned down to my lowest and least, I cry to you, God, when will they cease? And all drained out to my very last drop, come remind me how much I've got. How much I've got. 'Cause the Sabbath past, I napped in a park near a weathered man and his tired old lady. Bottle of bad habit in his grasp just afternoon. Defensive obscenities bounced back from her restless heap. And several nights ago I sat up with a woman nearly my mother's age who denied with screams that she'd ever need another's help. But with no place to sleep, she resorts to dependency, hypocrisy, dichotomy. She multitasks by both confiding in my assistance and cursing all in her community. Because at one stage in her life, she too scorned away her kind. Back when she possessed the means, she frowned upon the homeless but never thought she would be. Late hours under an overpass, I've listened to stories so very not my own, while on the same earth we seem to live in different worlds. Deftly I ignored our neighbors' cries countless times before, because stomachs grown so quiet when they growl outside of us. And tears appear so tiny when they fall on other cheeks. But somehow when they're mine, I feel and I see. Somehow when these things happen to me, I notice. And I plea, God, all burned down to my lowest and least. I cry to you, God, when will this stop? And all drained out to my very last drop, Lord, come remind me how much I've got. Do I expect someone would take me in if I lost my home? Would someone pay my bills if I lost my job? Would I return to open arms if I went to jail? Do you ever ask yourself these things? Replacing discrimination with wisdom, unless given discernment, I must change how I decide and determine who will be my neighbors. Do I only help those I trust? Can I be trusted to help strangers? Lost in strange situations, I find my neighbors saying, can't get a place without money, can't earn money with no job, and can't get a job with no address. So with none, I'm left without. Out here on these corners, finding our community, busy not caring. It's how embarrassing. I don't want to be here, and you don't want me to be. I'm barely able to support this sign, a sign of our community's lack of sharing. That each one of us somehow is supposed to be an island, able to make it on our own. Sealed off lonesome in our fear-filled bubbles. But once an individualist too, meet our neighbor Lindsay. I'm only 23 years young, and for the last 7.5 years my dog has been my only family. I can't leave her, but shelters don't take pets, and because we are a family, I have trouble finding rest and can't receive what's offered, can't make it on my own. So from all those who used to be my peers, I'm asking for a grace I never gave, because having once slept on sheets In a home, you never want to seek refuge on an aching concrete bed. Screaming, oh, burn down to my lowest and least. I cry to you, God, when will they stop? And all drained out to my very last drop, you remind me how much I've got. Do we know what it's like to hunger? Feel free to sing this with me if you will. Do we know what it's like to beg for bread? Do we know how it feels to feed others? Do we know what it